Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session and calls number 23CCCR0368. The case is styled State of Texas versus Russell Glenn Allday. Mr. Allday, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allday, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Allday, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allday, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Allday?
For this matter itself, sir.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Allday, you're here represented in your case by your attorney. And Mr. Cole, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing a great job.
And do you waive a record
Yes, we do.
in this case?
Yes, we do.
State is represented. Let me do this here. State is represented by attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Cole, you are waiving a record in this case, is that correct? Now, Mr. Allday, I have before me information that alleges that on or about March 6th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Allday, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Allday, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Guilty, I suppose.
Oh,
Well,
But I
yeah,
agree to.
okay, you're in a plea of guilty?
well, that's what we picked.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Allday. I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Seems like it, yes, sir.
Okay, you need to take a closer look at it. Ask him if he recognized that document.
From the last time we.
You know what I'm saying? That's not-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay,
Next page.
Okay.
okay. Now, on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Allday, there are a set of initials on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place
Yes,
your
sir.
initials on this document? On page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your
Yes, sir.
signature? On the next document is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir. That's the closest to the actual.
But
I had
you-
best luck with getting my signature.
Okay, but you did sign this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked.
Okay.
The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you
Okay.
understand that statement?
Yes, sir. I understand.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that
Yes, sir.
statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line
Yes,
that's
sir.
titled defendant? Now, Mr. Allday, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? Did your attorney go
Yes,
over
sir.
and did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to
Yes,
the
sir.
best of your knowledge?
To the best of the ability and that the law would allow.
Okay, now, Mr. Allday, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Giles Cole, you've advised and counsel, Mr. Allday, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Not at all, yeah.
Mr. Allday, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allday, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reason without state. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 10 days jail with 10 days credit. It's a time served plea and the court costs are taxed and retired.
Mr. Allday, the state is offering that you serve. Oh, man. The state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case, any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case, because you have already served 10 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit the time that you have already served. And the court cost in this case is $270, but you will not be required to pay the court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost is taxed and retired. Mr. Alday, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Alday, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Alday, you're gonna please stand in front of our court clerk to my right and follow her directions. And once you finish following her direction, court is in session and calls number M329000. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Roy Brantley. Mr. Brantley, is that your full name?
Sir.
Mr. Brantley, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Brantley, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Brantley, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Brantley? Well, that's good. Okay. It's better than the alternative. Now, Mr. Brantley, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Brantley's case? Mr. Brantley, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon in cause number M329000. Mr. Brantley, do you recognize this motion? And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Brantley, before you sign this document, did your attorney, Mr. Cole, go over this document with you?
We went over it, but then I also have a question to ask. I was also in front of you April 13th, but then my attorney was told to block. The conversation that we had was to dismiss this misdemeanor.
Well, we getting there.
Okay.
Okay.
That's your intentional question, yes, sir. We went over it.
Okay, so now you went over this document. Did you understand everything in this document?
Motion to forfeit.
Right.
Is that throwing it out?
Forfeit, no, this weapon is being turned over to the Beaumont Police Department.
Okay.
Do you
So,
understand that?
Being dismissed.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm talking about the motion. I'm not talking about the case. That's apples and oranges, two different things. Let's talk about the motion first, and then we're gonna get to the case. Okay? Now, before you sign this motion, did your attorney go over this motion with you?
To an extent, yes, sir.
Okay, did you understand everything that he went over?
It's gonna get turned into the hands of the police, yeah.
Right. Now, do you want the court to grant this motion to forfeit this weapon?
What are my other options?
I'm looking at the motion that says that you signed the motion asking for this court to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. And I'm asking you, is that your desire?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hubel, no, it's Courtney. And who's the assistant prosecutor? Your name is also on this motion, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Brantley, the court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Beaumont Police Department. And state, do you have another motion regarding the case?
Yes, Your Honor. There should be a motion to dismiss.
Okay.
This case.
Okay, so Mr. Brantley, the state will be dismissing this case for forfeiture of the weapon. And I'm signing that dismissal. Okay, I'm signing this dismissal right now. And it's also noted for the record that you previously pled in, it's a felony case number F-724446. Is that correct? That's in the motion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Brantley, I just signed that motion to dismiss in this case, so your case is dismissed. It should be printed off in a few seconds. It's not printing right now. Your attorney will be able to give you you're gonna give him a copy of the you need a copy of the motion to dismiss. Okay. Your attorney is gonna give you a copy of that motion to dismiss. What we can do is, until that prints off, you can go ahead on and follow the bailiff, and he'll get the motion to you in a few minutes. Justice DeStefano? Okay. You saying something about a lawyer? Now, hold on, does he speak Spanish?
Entiende.
What is he? Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, this is cause number M329356, case is styled the state of Texas versus Urbano Martinez Gutierrez. Mr. Gutierrez, is that your full name? You have to speak up. Yes, okay. Now, Mr. Gutierrez, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gutierrez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gutierrez?
Fine.
You doing fine? That's good. Now, Mr. Gutierrez, you're represented in the case by your attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Gutierrez's
Yes,
case?
sir.
Mr. Gutierrez, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Urbano Martinez Gutierrez, on or about June 28 of 2019, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Gutierrez, do you understand what you have been charged with? You have to speak up. And to this charge, Mr. Gutierrez, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Gutierrez, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Bless you. Do you recognize this document? She can show it to him.
Oh,
Show it to him.
About these documents.
yeah.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gutierrez, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials. It's UG on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain agreement and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? You have to speak up. And the next box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? The next box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal in this case. Do you understand that statement?
That by the judge accepting this plea, you can come back and try to retry this case. Like this is it. You understand what we went over? You understand it?
Yes.
Okay, this is it. You can't appeal. This is over.
It's over?
It's over. Okay?
Yes.
You got it?
Okay, so you understand that statement? Now, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Gutierrez, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? You have to speak, okay, and did you read and understand everything that he went over? Did you read and understand everything that he went over in these documents?
I don't know how to read it.
Okay, but did you understand? Did you understand?
Understand.
You understood everything that he went over. Now, is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gutierrez, are you a citizen of the United States?
No.
Okay. What country are you from?
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Gutierrez, I'm getting ready to hand you a form that's titled for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Get this to your attorney. You and your attorney need to go over this document. And once you finish going over the document and signing your name and making your choice, then we'll come back and review the document. So he is a mandatory, that's the top orders for him. Okay, the court will be in recess.